How are you?
Wonderful. How we doing?
Good, good, good. It's Monday and Ben Simmons is back. What are the expectations and just strategy-wise with his minutes and his return here?
Yeah, it'll be good to have him back on the floor. I think that's the first thing, for him to be around his teammates and compete in a game setting. He'll be on a minute restriction. He is not starting tonight.
When you look at just Ben, the time that he's had away from the team, not on the court game-wise, just what type of impact do you hope to kind of see as he integrates himself back into the rotation?
Yeah, it's been a few months since we've seen him on the floor, and there'll be some lineups out there that we literally haven't played together tonight. And so that challenge of continuing to learn about your teammates while you're trying to win a game. And so we'll have some different combinations, especially with Doe being out tonight. That changes things. So really, there'll be some lineups that have not played together tonight.
What kind of a minutes limit would you need to see from a player before you'd be comfortable starting them? I mean, 20, 25,
I don't have a
15.
number for you, Brian. He's on a minute restriction per our performance team and organization. He hasn't played in, I'm not sure how many weeks or months it has been. We want to get through tonight and see where that leads.
Jacque, with two things. One, with Doe, do you expect this to be a long-term ankle issue?
Joe will miss Wednesday's game for sure, and we'll see how he responds after Wednesday.
All right, and then with Doe out, you decided you're going to start tonight?
Yes.
Can we get a hint on who that might be?
It'll be Spencer, Mikhail, Cam Thomas, Cam Johnson, Nick Claxton.
All right. And with Dariq being out after his successful surgery, I guess we saw that he'll probably miss around 3 months. Is there any, I guess I'm for a question, summer league, is that still in play or is it too soon now because of the time?
Yeah, first of all, the surgery was successful, so that's good for him. Talked to him today. He was in good spirits. He'll stay at home today, stay at home tomorrow. And the hope that he is a full participant in our off-season development. So looking forward to that for him and his career going forward.
Hey, Jacque.
What's up, CJ?
Kind of staying on the subject of minutes restrictions, does that still apply to Lonnie?
Lonnie's minutes have been bumped up from his original minute restriction. There was a number of games that he went through in order to get him beyond that original minute restriction, yeah.
And how's Day doing this week?
Really not a lot to give you on Day. He still had a workout today, and it was individual based with the coach. So no participation with any bodies around him yet.
Jacque, when we saw you last, you I thought you were rolling, right? You came out of that Phoenix game.
That's what this NBA thing does
That's right.
to you, right?
What has been maybe the difference, or the one or two things that's been different for you since we saw you last?
I think the biggest part is, coming from that West Coast trip, a lot of times it's about rhythm and momentum. And, the way we started the year, we were really making shots. And the confidence and that gives a group on both ends of the floor. If I were to give you one thing, David, is we haven't made shots. And unfortunately, your team has. And averaging, 120-some points will get you guys rolling over it. So if there's one thing, that's been it.
Coach, I know there's been a lot of big games throughout for Cam Thomas, but if you were just going to say the thing you're most pleased with from start of the season to where Cam is at now, is there any one thing that you're like, wow, this is an area where I've really seen the kind of evolution or growth that I wanted to?
Yeah, I try to give you guys as much insight as possible. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing for me, but I like to be upfront and honest with you guys, and I'm that way with the players. And you guys don't see Cam Thomas and I sitting down watching film together on the road in my hotel room. You don't see him in my office before the game showing clips of how he's boxing out, how he's creating opportunities for other guys. So for me, that's where the growth has come from. And the willingness to have those conversations with me, the willingness to try to grow on the floor on both ends. And, you know, when I talked to Cam about not starting the first time, I talked to him about, I want to be an organization where it's just not about starting. It's about starting and finishing. Like, you know, and that's where we are as a group right now. We've started some great games, but we haven't finished. Organization is about starting and finishing. And so the way he accepted that as a man to man, showed growth and maturity. So for me, you know, I was here when we drafted Cam. And so I've seen him since day one. And where he's at right now as an individual, I think it's great to see.
Jacque, what is the minutes limit for Ben, and what is sort of the time for game thing before that could potentially go up, assuming he's able to stay on the court?
Yeah, Tim, I never really give minute restrictions. That's just something the organization we don't do from a performance team, and he'll have short stints out there. So that would be hopefully smart for us just to see how he's feeling. I mean, literally, he hasn't practiced with the dudes he's going to play with tonight. And so it will literally be a day by day. We'll get feedback from him, see how he feels after the game. He has historically been a guy that's been able to, you know, have time off and get back on the floor and be extremely productive with speed and quickness, and hopefully that's the outcome after tonight also.
Hey Jacque, before Ben got hurt, there was an emphasis on playing him with Nick, and then also in lineups without him, with shooters around him. Now, given that there's, you know, some injuries and it might just be simpler, like, is that still the plan, or is it just like we're gonna separate them?
No, it's never simple. With no Doe tonight, you know, we all expected Doe to be starting and playing tonight, so that changes things. You know, at the beginning of the year, those 6 games that we played together, we were trying to figure out how Nick and Ben could play together. I think one thing we did establish is the style of play. We wanted to play extremely fast, get threes up. I don't think that changes. I do feel it's a matrix figuring out the combinations tonight of having as many shooters and on the floor at times with the combination of your lesser offensive players. The combination has to be smart and thought out, especially against a team that has a great bench and can score with their first and second unit.
Jacque, a few games ago, you mentioned about how this Jazz team has been playing at a high level. What has changed from the last time you guys took them on in December to now from what you've seen from them?
Offense. That good old offense. I mean, the way they're scoring the basketball, they had almost 50 points in the first quarter the other night. And so it feels like just watching them. I mean, I think at one time they were 9-1 in 10 games, and they start to establish, they got healthy. And like Clarkson was back, he didn't play against us last time. So, and establish a rhythm with their team. Their rotations are pretty determined on a nightly basis, it seems that way. And when you're healthy, you can do that. And Will's done an unbelievable job of taking advantage of the skill and the dudes on his team, like Sexton and Dunn. The ability for them to start and bring energy on both ends of the floor is extremely impressive.
Is Ben going to have to take a hard hit or a fall or what have you before he feels comfortable and confident tonight? And is he going to have to string together a significant number of games healthy to help your guys' comfort in relying on him as an integral part of what they're doing?
Yeah, I'm going to let him answer what he feels necessary to feel comfortable on the floor. But for me, he told me he's ready to go. The sign off from the performance team, he's ready to go. So he's another basketball player for us tonight. He's going to try to help us win. I'm going to keep it as simple as that, Brian.
Thank you, JB.
All right, guys.